Did not see this coming. Holy crap. Holy crap. Go Bears go. What a freaking ride this is going to be. This is going to be a fun offseason. Welcome to Chicago, Ben Johnson. Holy crap, man. This guy's going to change things overnight. This is freaking phenomenal. Guys, woo! Woo! Not yet. Dylan, not yet. This is not going to be a problem money-wise. This is actually a cheap contract. He's on the last year of his contract. So what we do after this year, I don't know, but you can see these bridge gaps being formed. Makes room for salary cap next year. The Bears are only going to have $15 million this year on the cap for one of the top tier players this year. This is phenomenal. I'm trying to pull it up as we speak. I was working on a video for Ben Johnson overhauling the offensive line. And while that happens, breaking news comes across that the Bears are trading next year's fourth-round pick, 2026 fourth-round pick, for Pro Bowl guard Joe Thuney. My gosh, I can't even get it together here, guys. I gotta share screen here. Let's go to X. Here's the breaking news, and man, there's a clear and obvious direction the Bears are going to head with this. Let's make this bigger. All right, so according to Ian Rappaport and several insiders, the Bears are trading for Pro Bowl guard Iron Man. He's never injured either. So I brought up several times on this channel the possibility of trading for Kevin Zeitler. Well, the Bears have gone ahead and not trading for Kevin Zeitler, but signing Kevin Zeitler because of, his experience and having someone behind him to develop, and this avenue of taking these vets that have good experience and are built for both the run game and the pass game and developing rookies behind them. And the Bears have gone ahead and traded. Here's the big news. The Bears are expected to trade for Chiefs All-Pro guard Joe Thuney as the Bears continue to load up on the offensive line. Kansas City gets a bit younger, plus frees up some money to use elsewhere. And that's the biggest thing for the Chiefs. They need to unload some salary cap so that they can fit their roster. Travis Kelce decided to come back. Obviously, we know about Trey Smith and them wanting to re-sign Trey Smith. He's younger, so that's exactly what they're alluding to. And it is reported that it's going to be next year, so 2026, fourth-round draft pick. So very similar to last year, needing some help to come in on this team, needing some vet to help the young guys. We went and got Keenan Allen last year with the fourth-round pick. Now this year we're doing the same thing, taking that future prospect, taking a fourth-rounder, trading him for the now, and getting some guys behind them to develop. And I'm in shock. I did not see this one coming, especially after yesterday's Jonah Jackson. They do play the same position. Maybe the Bears want to bring Jonah Jackson to right guard. Maybe they want to put him at center. Don't get stuck on the narrative that he can only play one spot, because he did play left guard. He was injured. All the different stuff. Man, that's the first thing everyone goes to. No, I think, if anything, this shows that we're probably going defensive line in the first round. This is a stacked defensive group. We're focusing all that money and attention. You can't afford to use all these contracts everywhere. Anything's possible. I don't know what's going to happen. This is my speculation. But when we're spending all this salary cap this year to beef up that offensive line, and you still have work to do on the offensive line, and you have still work to do on the defensive line, you got to sign someone, and you got to start drafting some picks there too. So he's not completely up. Let me pull up some stuff so you guys can see some stuff on him. And this is oh man, I was literally doing a video right now on the Bears revamping the offensive line, what Jonah Jackson's signing means, and how the Bears move forward from here, and how they bring in quality guys to develop the depth behind them from the draft will probably take, and most likely taking a defensive lineman in the first round and then a couple offensive linemen to learn behind Jonah Jackson and maybe a Alaric Jackson, and whoever I can't even think right now. Not Alaric Jackson, that's the left tackle, but Drew Dahlman, the center, if we sign him. I got to look at the comments here for a second. Cook. That's right, JC1. They move in Jackson. It could be right guard, could be center. He's very versatile, so I don't think anything's off the hook right now. In fact, Ben Johnson from the combine did say getting the best 5 guys out there, but also having 8 deep. He talked about having depth on the offensive line, so that's huge. I think he's 32 years old, Nate Bart, but he's missed no time. So just like I liked Kevin Zeitler, let me show this here. Stop screen. Let's go here. This will get you guys excited for. Boom. I was just looking at him. So here's Kevin Thuney. This is the PFF on him. Okay. So he's 32 years old, just turned 32. November 19th, 1992. Former 3rd round pick from the New England Patriots. And here's his last season, last year. One of the best pass blocking grades in all of the league. Played a little bit at left guard, little left tackle as well. He filled in at left tackle when need be. No, I don't think that's what they're planning on doing with this. But like they said, best 5 guys out there. But here's his overall. So 2016 came in the league. I know this is small on your screen, but just look at all the green and blue. That's what you want to look at. And look at this. This more than anything. 1,115, 1,096, 999, 1,084. This is missing literally no time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, sorry, no 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So other than the bye week, that's everything. So no missed time. Whatever happened in week 18, I don't know. But obviously, maybe something happened. Maybe they just wanted to sit him and rest him. I don't know that intimately, to be honest with you, until I look into it. But that's the only game where he missed any time at all. And probably just because it's the last game of the season. I'm not positive on that, though. But look at all that. All that. And the pressures over. I mean, he's a Pro Bowl, all-pro, consistent, top of the league guard. This is phenomenal. 25 pressures last year and 708 opportunities. That's among the best in the league. 33 pressures the year before, 15, 16, 17. These low numbers are absolutely insane to see that year after year. The only knock you'll hear, Bears fans want every single player to be 24 years old. And I get the appeal for that. We need to build this team. But at some point, you have to realize the depth we had. Let me see if I can pull it up here real quick. Man, I'm talking too fast because I'm just way too excited. Like, I did not see this coming. Sorry, I should have moved that off screen. Sorry, I didn't see that. Boop, boop. Let me see some of the comments here. I'm not going to get into the Ashton Jeanty thing. Guys, we're all just speculating at this point, but I do not think this means you take a running. I mean, with this deep of a running class, he's making a clear focus on the trenches. And when you're taking old trenches, let me just point this out. When you're taking old trenches like this, and I'm not meaning like old as in they should retire. Old contracts too. Jonah Jackson is a 1-year contract. Unless he absolutely plays out of his mind, they will cut him next year with no dead cap because that 15, 17 million, too expensive unless he plays out of his mind. Joe Thuney is on the last year of his contract. So when you're taking these contracts on, you are not saying, oh, this is the guy for our permanent future. This is a guy that's going to help a rookie develop on the Bears. So we are still drafting draft picks on the offensive line. I will guarantee that right now. Are they the first rounder? I don't know. Nobody knows what we're going to do first round. I can tell you, it seems like they like their run blocking offensive linemen: Armand Membu, Kelvin Banks, Will Campbell. There's so many good defensive lineman options as well. So I don't know what it's going to be, but all these moves hedge me to say there is a very small chance that we take a running back in the first round. Any running back. What I'm saying is being construed as I hate Ashton Jeanty. That's not true. I wouldn't be happy if we took Omarion Hampton, who's my favorite running back prospect in this draft. I would be upset if we took him in the first round. I don't think it's smart, especially with these moves, taking short-term contracts to not build and develop. This is one of the deepest, it's turning into the interior offensive line draft. After the combine, after the measurements, all these players are turning into be interior offensive linemen. So the defensive line is just as weak as our offensive line. I said that through the season. People didn't agree with it. Now everything on social media, oh, the Bears do need to focus and fix their defensive line. Oh, yeah, we weren't deep. Oh, yeah, we need some help. And then we went and cut DeMarcus Walker. That was proving the Bears are going to revamp the defensive line as well. So let me go to Spotrac here. I don't have that up at all. I'm going to have to open the tab for that. But Spotrac will show his contract. Very affordable Spotrac. I'm sorry, salary cap to be able to bring someone in to develop. I'm one of the best guards in the league for 15 million years is absolutely phenomenal. Let's see if they took it down. They usually do that when breaking news happens, but I was just looking at it. I screenshotted it before they take it down. Let's see here. Joe Thuney. 2025, they've got it right there. 16 million is his cap hit. And of course, Spotrac always makes my computer slow down. All right, let's see if I can share that real quick before it becomes an issue. All right, remove. Boom, share screen. Joe Thuney. All right, so here's his Spotrac. 5-year, $80 million contract in 2021. This is the last year of that contract. And it is right here. So 0 dead cap for them by getting rid of. We're taking the whole contract on. That's just the way it's built. 2025 savings, $16 million. Many speculated they might cut him, that they might release him before the 14th, before that kicker, the bonus kicks in for this year. So we will pay him $16 million. That's a phenomenal deal for a Joe Thuney caliber player. Absolutely phenomenal. So let's check out the chat here. Sorry, guys. I don't know if you can even see that on the screen. It's small. It's small, but I'll make it bigger for you. And they have so many ads here. So base salary, 15 million, workout bonus, 500,000. And it equates to a $16 million contract this year. So the Bears, going off calculations off the top of my head, that's going to leave the Bears right in the... Ooh. So we'll need 18 more contracts left, and 7 of those will be filled by the draft. So 11 contracts left, and we'll have roughly, it's going to be right close to 50 million left in salary cap after that move. Bears are in fine shape. We're going to be fine. This is not one that kills it. This is not one that kills the salary cap. We're going to be just fine. So let's look at the chat here. Ooh, and then all the speculation. I love it. I love it. We all get to speculate on this now, but this is a clear and direct focus on the offensive line. I'm just trying to check out some of your, so the cap hit is 16 million this year. As many of you know, I was not hot on Will Campbell at 10, not hot on, taking an offensive lineman that high. But in this draft, it's very possible, with the Bears bringing him in for his top 30 visit, for the focus on developing this way. I don't know if we'll go offensive line first round, but it's very possible. Anything's possible in this year. Well, the entire team kind of had a rough game, to be fair. Even Trey Smith had a bad game there. Booker's a bulldozer. I mean, there's so many good options for the Bears. All right, it's a solid move, but this is why Kansas City is always in the hunt. They draft someone in the 3rd and get nearly a solid decade, then trade for a 4th. Bears 3rd-round picks must get better. So I could not agree with you more, and the Bears have to do this, but let me see if I can pull up here to show you guys the big issue with the Bears. So let me show this real quick. This is something important to take into consideration. Give me 1 second, guys. I didn't have this ready. Let's go February roster. All right, so let me pull this up. Yeah, this is a reported trade, so this is happening. Nothing can happen till March 12th, just so you guys know. This is old. I get that, so I apologize. This is not updated. But here's the point of it, and this, just take this for the point of what I'm trying to make here. So saying that the Chiefs are always in the hunt because of this, because then they can develop players, that's what the Bears have to start doing. But the problem is we have the very most decimated offensive line before free agency. So it's not just that we're missing our middle 3 and we have a left tackle on the last year of his contract. That's basically 4 hard holes to fill. the Bears have zero depth. Ryan Bates has a perennial shoulder injury, thought about medically retiring, was unavailable last year. So you can even put a fourth hole there. No swing tackle, no right tackle, no right guard, no center, no left guard for depth. On top of that, we have no interior. Left guard, center, right guard. Now you've added Jonah Jackson. Now you've added Joe Thuney. This is not updated, so I apologize. I will update that very soon. I'll have it off to you. If we go after and we sign Drew Dahlman, you shored up that offensive line to be extremely solid. You'll have very little salary cap left, but you've got a built offensive line that can not only pass block for Caleb Williams, but it's going to be one of the most road grading offensive lines for the run game, period. You can go out and get a guy in that second, third round that can be just as effective as, you know, any of the top backs in the league with that offensive line. Now, Braxton Jones, I was just compiling this. I think he was the 15th or 16th highest rated left tackle in the run blocking department. Jonah Jackson in 2021, that's his Pro Bowl year. That's one of the biggest reasons I think they went and got him. He's a road grader. The run game is going to be very important for the Bears. Darnell Wright was the I don't want to say it wrong because I'm just working on this now. Let me hurry and look. Darnell Wright. You got to hurry and pull it up. Sorry, guys. It's on my research. Right there. Darnell Wright was the third highest ranked right tackle in the run game. He's a road grader. Drew Dahlman is one of the very highest rated centers in the run game. I think there's a clear and obvious focus to get these guys that are solid pass blockers, but also will get the ball moving. We're very predictable by the Bears. If they can get pressure on Caleb, we're screwed. We have not established the run game, and it doesn't give him an opportunity to sit back there and pass. He's got very little opportunity. And when he does, he's kind of getting broken. I'm not going to say he's broken, but we're repeating the same history. Now, I wish I could pull up. In fact, maybe I'll just screen share. I'm going to pull this up. It's what I'm working on right now. I'm going to ruin a future video by doing this, but I just got to show you guys this because it's becoming very clear what he's doing. So hold on. Stop screen, present, share screen, window. Okay, this is going to ruin a future video, but whatever. All right, so this is Ben Johnson in his time with Detroit. So in 2019, offensive quality control coach, 20 through 21 tight ends coach, 2021 passing game coordinator, 22 through 24 offensive coordinator, and now he's with the Bears. Look at the Lions and their record and their run blocking grade. And I think this is a clear direction that Ben Johnson wants to go. He's got his hands all over getting this offensive line fixed. Detroit had one of the best offensive lines, period. Right here in 2024, 15-2 record. Their run blocking grade was the third highest in the entire league. The Bears down here at 15, 65.6. Not terrible, also not good. One of the only things we could get going a little bit, but every time he got stuffed, and DeAndre Swift did have close to 1,000 yards, but they were hard-fought, crazy, uncoordinated yards. There's a lot of work that needs to be done for the Bears offense and the running game. Over the years, now I'm not saying Ben Johnson's directly responsible for the run game every one of these years, but as he took over into the offensive coordinator position and became the offensive guru, the offensive mind. Is this too small? I got to go back and look. I'm so sorry, guys, if I keep doing this too small. Nope, you can see. I'm sorry, it is small, but you can see what it is for what it is. So as Ben Johnson has taken over and been that guy, look at these years from 2022 through 2024 up to 9th, and I'm positive he had his say in it. With Dan Campbell, he had a say in bringing Kevin Zeitler last year, saying, well, we need another guy to fill in because, you know, we're and then they were doing the same thing. I don't remember the guard's name on top of my head, but the guy they have in the wings that's going to take over from Kevin Zeitler was learning last year. Is it Christian Mahogany? Boston College guard? That might be the wrong team. Don't quote me on that, but they've got a young guard. The games he did play, and then he filled in the playoff game for Kevin Zeitler. I think he was the highest graded offensive lineman, even over Penei Sewell in that game. Sat and developed behind Kevin Zeitler, a proven formula for Ben Johnson type of guy. So I think that's exactly what he's doing. 2023, 12-5 record. They had the second highest rated run blocking grade. 2024, 15-2, the third highest. So to me, I think this is the direction the Bears are going. I think it's what they're trying to do is fix that run game to give. If Jared Goff can have all that time back there, it's because they established the run game. And you can say it's David Montgomery, you can say it's Jahmyr Gibbs, and there's truth to that. You have to have good backs, but it's a balanced approach. Those guys are successful because of the offensive line. The offensive line is successful because of those running backs. And to pigeonhole ourselves and say, well, only Ashton Jeanty can be successful in the league. That's not, there's so many good running backs in this draft class. This is going to be special. We can take a Bashul Tutton in the third round. We can take a DJ Giddens in the third round and RJ Harvey in the third round. And I'm not saying I love any one of those, but if we build this the right way and we take these vets just like they did in Detroit, and then we draft some guys behind them, say Donovan Jackson in the second round, say Wyatt Milam in the second round, there's so many good options with the interior offense and run grading guys. They can bowl people over. Armand Membu in the first round is one of the absolute most beast dogs in this draft for the run game. He also can pass block. Will he be at right guard, right tackle? I don't know, but I think the Bears have options there where they can draft him, or they can take that defensive line in the first round. There's so freaking many good options here. All right, I got to get to the chat. You guys are awesome in the chat, by the way. So freaking many of you in there. There's 276 with us right now. Everyone's clearly excited about these Chicago Bears and the directions we're making. Let's see here. Some of these comments. All right, I'm not going to put the stuff up where you guys are going back and forth with each other. All good. You guys have fun in the comments. Man, what do I think about Sanborn? I don't think he'll come back. I don't. That would, by not tendering him, I think that was the Bears saying we are moving forward. Now, we gave up a fourth next year, so it's not this year's draft, but we traded a sixth for Joe Thuney. I'm sorry, for Jonah Jackson. I can see a scenario where maybe we don't trade out of 10 now, but maybe Ryan Poles, because everyone knows between 10 and 50 or 60, there's a lot of value. If someone does want to trade up to, say, 41, we take our guy at 39. Say we fall in love with Donovan Jackson, whoever it is. It doesn't matter who it is. And then the Bears are sitting at 41, and we want to extract some more value to be able to get a linebacker or a tight end or other positions down the path. Ryan Poles did that in his first draft where he traded down multiple times and extracted value. Now, I'm not saying we trade all those down until we get, 3 7th rounders again or 3 6th rounders, but if we can pick up one extra pick somewhere. He liked both of those UCLA linebackers. There's a lot of linebackers late in this draft that are high quality, really good linebackers. You guys know I love Jackson Woodard from UNLV, who absolutely stood up and went toe-to-toe. I'm going to be politically correct. Went toe-to-toe with Ashton Jeanty, one of the best tackling linebackers in the league in NCAA. So, all right. So just to recap, missed the first part of this on the years and salary. Maybe you can tell that again. Looking forward to the next mock. He's on the last year of his contract. So this is a rental. So this is why it's very important for us to continue to build through the draft as well. So I'll go back there. We'll go Joe Thuney. So here's the last year of his contract. You see in 2021, he signed a 5-year, $80 million extension with a lot of bonuses in there. So they spread out a salary cap, but the last year of that is $16 million. So you can see that each year was a little bit different. It is all none of it's guaranteed, but there's no way we're cutting Joe Thuney. Would we extend him after this? I don't know. We'll have to see how this year goes. But to me, this screams rental, where you are drafting him, you're signing him, you're trading for him, a future 4th rounder, next year's 4th round pick. You can see there on the side, there's the news for it. Traded to Chicago from Kansas City for a 2026 4th round pick. And then we draft someone in the 2nd, 3rd round to develop behind him. Where he fits in, Jonah Jackson and Joe Thuney have both primarily played at left guard. So I do not know. what they plan to do. Both have played a small amount of center. We'll move to that real quick. Let me show you guys. Take that off the board. Stop screen. We're just doing this live on the fly. I was not prepared for this, and I'm just trying to do my best to give you guys as much information as I can. But this is huge, huge breaking news for the Chicago Bears. Let me go show Joe Thuney. So here he is over the years. In fact, I'll show you. I know this is really small on your guys' screen. So let me just take me off and make this the focus so you can see a little bit better. I know that's small, guys. I apologize for that. But in fact, we'll try to zoom in just a little bit without making the integrity of it weaker. So here's his positional snaps over the years. So he did play a little bit of left tackle this year. Is it possible we move in there over Braxton Jones? I don't see it likely. He has been primarily a left guard his whole career, and that's where he's thrived at. So I wouldn't think he's moving anywhere but left guard. I'll go over and show you guys Jonah Jackson too. And the other thing, here's the thing. I kept saying this about Kevin Zeitler. Huge opportunity for the Bears with an Ironman. I don't care if they're 32.2 years old, 34 years old, 35. There's offensive linemen who are flat out playing longer if they're healthy. And he's been healthy. Didn't miss a single game this last year. That last game, I don't know what that's for. I would guess it's because it's the last game of the season. They'd already locked up the number 1 overall seed. So I would think that's the reason he didn't play that entire game. He played 3 snaps. That's my assumption. I don't know. If anybody knows in the comments, you can put it. But every year he's an Ironman. 1,015 snaps. This is a full season. 1,000 snaps is a full season. 1,096, 999, 1,184, 980, 1,140. Blah, blah, blah. Every one of these full seasons, Ironman does not get injured. Not an issue with him. Let's go over and show you Jonah Jackson. So there's Jonah Jackson. And this last year, he was injured. But every year before that looks good. But here is his snap chart. Left guard 93, center 107. And that's really just because Steve Avila, the same thing, a rookie, it was second-year guy last year. Second-year guy. Came up in the wings when he got injured, took over his spot, and Steve Avila absolutely rocked it. So they're going with Steve Avila moving forward, which is why they traded Joe Thuney. Played 66 snaps at right guard as well. The LA Rams, people are like, why did the Rams trade him away? Well, that's a huge contract, and they had young guys that stepped up while he was out and played absolutely phenomenal. And there's a narrative by certain people out there who are saying Jonah Jackson played in the postseason. He did not play he played 1 snap in the postseason. So anyways, just had to get that little dig in there for those who know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, we move forward. So left guard primarily for him too. Who will play where? I don't know. I honestly don't have a clue which guy will play in which position, but we just picked up 2 of the best left guards in the league through trades before free agency even hit. All right, let's see here. I think this really, I read the same tea leaves, but we'll see what happens. Arizona Ron. Not just that, but it shows that we want established guys on the offensive line to protect Caleb. We're going the vet route. You can't start 4 rookies on the offensive line. You just can't do it with Caleb needing to develop. This is a very clear show of force by Ben Johnson that I want to protect my rookie quarterback, who he spoke extremely highly of at the combine. He gave Caleb so much praise. He's already been in communication with Caleb, texting back and forth. They're going to be on the same page and linked. He talked about how important it is for them to develop their relationship. This is a clear show of force to me that I'm still showing Jonah Jackson up there. I got to move that just so those who are popping in can see the big news with Joe Thuney. In fact, I should switch it over here. Give me 1 second, guys. Stop screen, present, share screen, Joe Thuney. All right, so there's the big breaking news. All right, so to me, this is a clear show of force that he wants some established vets to make it possible for Caleb to have a chance to survive in the league, to be able to have a chance to flourish in the league, to have a chance to develop his skills, why they have some vets blocking, and then they can bring in some youth to be able to develop behind them. So Thuney, just for those of you tuning in, the Bears have traded 2026 fourth round draft pick. So not in this draft, the 2026 fourth rounder for All Pro, Pro Bowl, perennial best in the league, Joe Thuney, who has played primarily left guard his entire career, and he is making $16 million this year, all on the Bears. So the Bears will pay him $16 million. It is a rental. There's no other way to explain this. It's a rental to bring in one of the best offensive linemen in the league to be able to help the young guys develop behind him, but more importantly, to give Caleb the best opportunity to develop. And for those who feel like me, over and over and over every year, where the Bears repeat the same old cycle, we repeat the same mistakes of the past. This is a clear direction that the Bears are going to move forward, to not be the same old Bears. So this is huge. Thuney. Ampmus is saying it's Thuney. I've always called him Thuney. Let's see what other questions. Chad Speaker, good morning. Welcome in. How can you say it? Because that's what it is at this point. Unless we sign into an extension, that's what it is until something happens otherwise. Absolutely. First team All-Pro last year, but that doesn't change the fact that we're renting him for 1 year to develop players behind him. Hey, if the Bears can work it out to give him an extension, I'm all down for it. I don't mind that he's 32 years old, but right now, as it is, when you trade for someone with 1 year left on their contract, it's just semantics. That's what it is. It's a rental. Yeah, this is the perennial question. Tevin Jenkins is the only left guard that was higher rated in the free agent market in the run blocking game that we could have got. But Tevin Jenkins, I don't think Tevin's happy here. Ownership has not committed to him. Fans are harder than I think any fan base in the world on our players, and fans are tough on Tevin Jenkins, but we want healthy players, and Joe Thuney is a very, very healthy player. Yeah, I think the T reads leave the same way. If you guys want to know, I think we go hard for Jonah Jackson in free agency now. Like, that's our one priority on the 10th and the first thing in the morning. You know how last year we heard that it was DeAndre Swift was our first one. I think Bears are all in on Jonah Jackson, especially with what I just talked about with the run blocking and getting the run game going to help develop Caleb. Those who missed that, go back and watch it when we're all done here. I spoiled one of my future videos that I was working on this morning, like for a couple hours. I was working on that, and then this news broke, and I just said, screw it, we're going live. I'm all in on that. I don't read this the same way. I see a lot of you guys saying this, that it opens the door for drafting Jeanty. You've got guys on 1 year contracts. You got to still focus on the offensive and defensive line, drafting guys to develop behind them. I can see a path where we draft Ashton Jeanty, but this class is so deep. There's literally no difference between drafting Ashton Jeanty in the first round and drafting RJ Harvey or Devin Neal or DJ Giddens or Brayshul Tutton in the third round. Like, you're getting the same caliber of result with this offensive line and style of player, but certain aspects better and different from different ones. Ashton Jeanty's a bull. He will run people over. A lot of upside to him, but is it worth taking a first rounder when we have so many needs to develop? So as I showed before, we're not deep on the offensive line. We're taking 1 year rentals here at left guard, right guard, wherever you want to put Jonah Jackson, Joe Thuney. This is not updated. So those just tuning in, this is before. But when you've got, left guard depth, center depth, right guard depth, is Ryan Bates going to be? I think we're going Ryan Bates this year, but is he healthy enough? You kind of give yourself a security blanket there. I think by signing Bill Murray to his exclusive right free agency, which is a 1 year league minimum, $1,030,000 contract. And Bill Murray played very well in one game against the Carolina Panthers. Is that a solution? No, but it's worth, Ryan Bates with a security blanket of Bill Murray kind of makes that feel a little bit better. But you've got no depth, none, no swing tackle, no right tackle depth, no center, no left guard. So the Bears have got to continue to, if you guys want that approach where you just had the Kansas City Chiefs take these guys, and they didn't draft Joe Thuney, by the way. It was the Patriots. They signed him. But then take these guys and then get guys developing behind them and then trade away for a 4th-round pick. If the Bears want to ever get to that point, they've got to start drafting some guys and making some hits here later on. So hold on one second. Had to wet the whistle. We're going a little bit. This is one of the funnest things for me this offseason. No difference in results is what I said. You guys take these things, and I just got to pound on this. Like, there is such a deep running back class, and there's so much fantasy over certain people in the fan base that Ashton Jeanty will be the only special running back in this class. Look at his production. Look what he did against the Mountain West. Look what he did against arm tackles and giant Mack truck holes where he ran through and he didn't have to diagnose his own hole and he didn't have to, do any lateral agility. Look what he did. He was the best running back this year. Ashton Jeanty, I've said, is my number 1 running back in this class. The difference between number 1 and number 20 is literally this. You can get the same quality running back in this draft class in the 4th round than you can in the 1st round. I have this conversation on Twitter all the time. He is not going to make or break this team. Ashton Jeanty will not make the Chicago Bears the best team in the league. He is not Caleb Williams. He is not the quarterback position. We can do it with any one of 20 running backs in this class. I promise you, Ashton Jeanty will not be the number 1 running back in this year's draft class. He will go first off the board. When the year is settled, he will not be the number 1 running back. Come back to this video right here. Come back to me on Twitter. Face up to it when the year's over. Ashton Jeanty does not do things any more special than Omarion Hampton, Caleb Johnson, Quinshon Judkins, DJ Giddens, Ollie Gordon. He's a good running back. He's going to go first off the board. He does not make or break the Bears. Taking a defensive tackle and a defensive end in the 1st round will make or break the Bears. If we don't fix that defensive line, it will make or break the Bears. We have to focus on what's important, the trenches. You're going to see Real Take Authentic Adam on this video, on every video. I don't hate Ashton Jeanty. I hate taking a running back in the 1st round when that's your offensive line right there with left guard, center, right guard. Depth, 0 depth. It's got to get fixed appropriately. If I'm sitting in that room with Ryan Poles, I'm pounding the table, telling him, this is not what we do. We do not overdraft a running back in this class where you've got 1 through 20 on very similar grounds. When you got Bashal Tutton going in the 5th, now probably the 3rd round, running a 4.32 40 and the same contact balance as Ashton Jeanty. All right, I'm going to stop with the Ashton Jeanty thing. Let you guys debate it in the chat because I ain't talking about it anymore on this episode. It's absolutely I'm going to say this beforehand because you guys on Twitter do the same thing. You say I'm calling you stupid. I'm not calling you stupid. It's a stupid idea. It's stupid to take a running back in the 1st round when we have 11 linemen that we need to get. Now we filled 2 of those. We need 8 or 9 now. We filled Jonah Jackson. We filled Joe Thuney. Now we need 8 more. We need a center. We need a backup left guard. We need a backup center. We need a backup right tackle. We need a swing tackle. We need a nose tackle. We need a backup 3-tech. We need another defensive end. We need a starting defensive end. I just don't think people understand the roster construction and especially the salary cap now. Now we're down to 50 million and we need 18 more spots. We need 18 more positions filled with 50 million in cap and maybe 5 of those draft picks out of the 7 working out. I'm not coming after any one of you. I have a very intense personality. I've got a very strong opinion. So I know some people take that as me coming after them. I ain't coming after any one of you. I'm trying to show you guys how deep our issues are. And we aren't in the position that the Lions were a couple years ago when I showed you guys I don't have that video. I don't have it here. Let's see if I have it here. Stop screen. Present. Just had this up 2 seconds ago for those who missed it. This is something I was working on now. We aren't in the positions the Lions were to be able to take that running back with their offensive line established. Now we're getting there, but we have zero depth. We got none. No depth whatsoever. Maybe Karan Amagaji, you can call depth. Maybe. He's got to develop. But we have 4 more depth pieces we've got to get. And in this, you can see they eventually took, what year was Jahmyr Gibbs drafted? Was it 2 or 3? After they built the line, then they added him to it, and then he enhanced it. But you have to do things in the appropriate order. You have to fix the line first, and then insert piece. And in this year, you've got a special opportunity. You really do. You've got a really good opportunity this year to fix that line and still get a running back later on that can plug in there and play with a high quality production. All right. I gotta preface that, and I've got to say it again. Guys, I'm not coming after any one of you. I'm not attacking any of you. I'm not calling you stupid. I'm calling the idea of not focusing on the offensive and defensive lines first. That would be, I shouldn't use the word stupid, inappropriate. It would be misappropriation. It would be mismanagement. It would be the wrong thing to do. It would be very, very poor. It would be a poor decision on the Bears' part. And if you want to see a meltdown and we draft Ashton Jeanty, tune in to me on draft night, because if we draft Ashton Jeanty or any running back in the first round, I will probably just exit. I'll probably just stop this stream. That's probably what I wouldn't be happy. So done with that. Not talking anymore about it right now. You guys on Twitter know that I'm very passionate about this. So let's see if there's any current ones. Scroll back out a little bit. So the big news. Those who are tuning in late, who just saw me go on a rant. I'm a passionate Bears fan. I'm a passionate content creator. I enjoy the Bears. I love the Bears. I feel like I have a good grasp on what they need. In-depth analysis on the salary cap, on the roster construction. I like to play GM just like you guys. I'm not always right. I get it. Big news this morning. The Chiefs are going to trade guard Joe Thuney to the Bears for next year's 2026 4th-round draft pick. They are going younger. Let's see. Anything here? I haven't seen any of that. I'm just trying to get updated on any other news on it. So those who don't know, some of the stuff I've been showing you guys. Doesn't miss games. Iron Man. I don't care about the age if they're an Iron Man. So I've said that here. We'll go to those screens again. Only allowed 7 sacks in the last 5 seasons, 0 in 2024. Holy crap. We got to go look that up if that's true. Let's stop sharing this screen. Let's go back to PFF. I know a lot of you guys like me to use PFF because you don't have so many of you might not have the subscriptions. Holy crap. Look at that. Look at the low sacks every year. I showed this earlier. For those who were you on, these low pressures, I mean, that's among the best in the league. I don't have it right at my fingertips, the snaps per pressure allowed. But when you look at 15 pressures over 675 pass blocking opportunities, 40 plus plays between a pressure in the NFL is it's godly. It's very special. Even this isn't bad. 33 over 740, 25 over 708. Some people are going to make this the comment of, well, as he's gotten older, he's allowed more pressure right here, not allowing as many sacks. And this is just you can't keep this up. And this is the same as this here. This is a great addition. This is an absolutely phenomenal addition to the Chicago Bears. What does it mean for our salary cap? For those just tuning in, let's go to Spotrac again, see if they've taken it down yet. They like to take these things down as news breaks. They have not, or my screen is not refreshed. Either way, I am not advertising for Wingstop, just so you guys know. This is just on there. We'll get rid of that. $16 million against the cap this year. You're not going to find a Pro Bowl, all-pro beast of a lineman like Joe Thuney for $16 million. That's not going to happen. Yesterday, I was kind of upset that we got Jonah Jackson for $17 million. When I learned it was more around $9 to $11 million, that made me much more excited. Joe Thuney, you could pay him 20, 21, 22 million, and I would be very excited about this. Will the Bears work out an extension? I don't know. That's speculation. Is this a piece to bring in and draft someone behind and develop? I don't know. That's speculation too. That's kind of where I see the tea leaves. So right here, Mark Watts says they played him at tackle out of position against guys like Myles Garrett. His guard play has always been spectacular. I don't think he played bad at tackle either, but they just filled in. I mean, he's a guy that's such a high caliber player. You can fill him in a pinch, and he can do extraordinarily well. So the speculation ensues. I like this. Honestly, if they could trade down from 10 to 20 and pick up another second-round pick, I'd totally be thrilled with Marion Hampton over Jeanty with pick 20. If Jeanty fell to 20 in this scenario, from 10 to 20, you're going to pick up a second-rounder, a fourth-rounder, and a future fourth-rounder. That's the draft trade value. If you do that, I can handle as long as that second-rounder and the other two second-rounders are used for all trenches, offensive, defense. All three of those are used for trenches. I could then handle a running back situation more. I still wouldn't love it because I want that focus in this draft with all the interior offensive linemen, with all the defensive ends, with all the defensive tackles. I mean, Walter Nolan, Mason Graham. If Mason Graham fell to us at 10, can you imagine that? So, all right. Let's see here. Those who tuning in, the Bears have traded next year's 2026 fourth-round draft pick for Pro Bowl, All-Pro left guard Joe Thuney. 1 year left on his contract. 1 year, $16 million left on his contract. Will the Bears extend him? Don't know. Will the Bears use him as a stopgap to develop a draft pick in this draft behind him? Kind of how I feel about it, kind of what I think they would be planning to do, but there's enough salary cap. They can extend him as long as the price is right. We'll see if they can get to the negotiation table, make that happen. But as of right now, it's a 1 year contract, $16 million, which is an extremely great value for Joe Thuney, one of the best guards in the league. In fact, let's go here. I will pull it up for you guys. We'll go back to Spotrac, and I'm just going to show you guys. So let's go by position. And we're going to go blocking grades. And those who haven't been on PFF may not understand this whole thing. We're going to go guards in the blocking grades. And we're going to go overall offensive grades. And we're just going to see let's make it so it's not every player who's ever played a snap. It's got to be at least minimum snaps. And Joe Thuney right there, 9th overall. So everyone wanted Trey Smith, and I get it. Joe Thuney was rated higher than Trey Smith, just so you know. So that's huge. And there's Kevin Zeitler. I don't think we'll go after Kevin Zeitler now with this news. Maybe they will. Maybe Jonah Jackson is meant to be the center. Maybe. I don't know. This makes things very interesting for 5 days from right now on the 10th. I think the priority would be, and let me go here and show. Let's go to the center position. So Creed Humphrey is just on a whole nother level. Eric McCoy, it's a limited sample. I don't take too much credence into that. We could still trade for him. Very decent last year. This last year, injury-plagued year, but absolutely phenomenal in the time that he did play. But let's go back here, and I'm going to show you guys overall grade. And my things acting up. Drew Dahlman right there, 4th overall graded, and a run blocking road grader. There is a gap between these top three here. Eric McCoy, I'm not going to put in the same level as Creed Humphrey and Frank Ragnow, but we know from Detroit how important that center position is. I would think right now, and this is just me speculating just like the rest of you guys. Speculation. I think Aaron Brewer is a free agent as well. I'm not positive. Let's see here. Aaron Brewer contract. Give me 1 second here, guys. Or did he just sign a new contract last year? He might have. Yeah, he signed it. He's through next year. Drew Dahlman is clearly the best free agent center in this year's class, and he's got the highest. I mean, watching him in the run blocking game, watching him on tape, watching him run guys over is absolutely fun to do. He needs some help in the pass pro. I've talked about Drew. I've done extensive watching of Drew Dahlman. He bends at his waist instead of his knees a little bit, so he comes forward, leaves him off balance and off leverage, which is why his pass blocking grade is a little bit lower. Is it fixable? He's still young. So I think with our new offensive line coaches, it's something they can take that risk on and say, you know what, there's so much upside. He's going to help us in the run game. We can take this gamble on him. So I think there's a high upside there. I would think right now that's the number one priority. But it might be defensive end. It might be Milton Williams, defensive tackle, is the priority. So we'll just have to wait and see. So there's the big news. Go through here and see anything else. Wake up and Joe Thuney's a bear. Joe Thuney's a bear. What is happening? And then Nick. I really respect Nick. I like Nick a lot. Breaking news: Bears are trading for Chiefs All-Pro guard Joe Thuney for Ia Rappaport. That's the big news of the day. So, guys, we've been going at this for 50 minutes, and I appreciate every single one of you guys in the chat. The big news of the day: the Bears have traded next year's 4th round draft pick, 2026, for All-Pro, Pro Bowl guard Joe Thuney. $16 million contract this year. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll have more to come. We got a lot of excitement going right now for the Bears. So with that, I appreciate you guys. Bear down. The Bears.